Welcome to We Know Marketing, We Promise. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Naoma, and this is a show about how to actually build a brand that works. Hey, welcome back to part 2 versus Kelsey's story of consulting and coaching and everything. So
Yeah.
tell us about your first coach, or what drew you to get a coach.
Well, I am very different from Naoma, very different from you, because I am a 6 on the Enneagram. So I really like to have like my village of people that help me make decisions. So I have a lot of fear and I have a lot of worst case scenario that has been in my past. And so I was much quicker to hire a coach because of that mindset. Like, I'm very much a learn and tap into all of your resources here as much as you can and then make a decision. But I don't like people making decisions for me. I just want to know all the information I can possibly know, and then I can make a decision. And so usually that comes with talking to people. And so I would say, gosh, the first person I met with, first, my dad, huge piece of like coaching me, business plan, taking me to meetings, walking me through what to do, what not to do, giving me feedback. So I got to experience that with my dad. And then I would say my first like official hire was a consulting firm out in Nashville. And it was actually in 2022 as well. And so I had random people, but before I actually like took the leap into doing a program, which you would think I would like buy up all the softwares and programs, but I never bought any of them because I didn't trust them. So
Opposites.
We really are. So like I would trust someone that I had met with regularly over 6 months and gotten to know slowly, then they're going to probably be more likely to get my business than someone through social media posts and sales funnels and things like that. Because I'm so relational and very personal. So I want someone that I really trust before I'm going to partner up with them and give them my money. And originally, like early on, I was so much more tight with like, that's a lot of money. I don't know if this is worth it. I don't know if I can trust them. Will this actually work? All these things. But now I'm like more willing to make mistakes, I guess, because I can see how those led to growth. And I can almost maybe lean a little bit too flippant with like, okay, if it costs that, like, yeah, I weigh the cost like pretty quickly. And then I know I'm either a yes or a no, but I'm usually not on the fence long with decisions like that now. But yeah, I hired a consultant firm out of Nashville, and they put me through a program that was all online, and it was like a bunch of Loom videos that went through presentations, and it was the same thing, like positioning, unique value proposition, who your ICP is, what's your vision, messaging type stuff. Like, it was kind of the business foundations, and then it moved into building out sales, marketing, HR, just all the foundational things for business, which was really helpful for me. The problem was it was a program that you have to self-motivate to do.
Oh, problem.
Yeah, I don't do that.
No.
So I tried, and then I hired someone to go through the program for me.
You're like, I'm just going to outsource the CEO show right now.
Literally.
CEO move.
I was like, can you add her to the program? And I think they were probably like, what in the world? And they did. So they added her into the program. And so she was learning everything and kind of showing me. And then I was having her help me implement like processes in the company. But I think my first taste at like business and systems and stuff definitely started with books. And then also testing out like doing a project management system for the first time that was outside of an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Doc and all of that. So then I get Trello the same year that I start this like business consultancy, and I build out I actually started writing down.
I'm just letting you know,
everything I do.
Twitching on the inside right now.
Why?
Like, I started my business and the first software I downloaded was Asana. I'm like, you were working out of a Google spreadsheet? Like,
from 2016 to 2022.
Oh my God.
I don't even remember how I
Oh my
scheduled
God.
posts. Like, I don't remember. It was so long ago. Like,
I want to throw up right now.
and my you know how detailed my business is. And like that process from brainstorm to posting has always been that process.
Oh my God. Oh my God. My anxiety is, I'm, oh my God.
I'm glad you
Okay.
didn't get the coffee.
I'm very glad that woke me up. Okay.
So, anyways, yeah. So I spent a weekend in the middle of all this business consultancy stuff because I was getting into it, but like not really doing it. They had group calls and stuff too that would really encourage me. And then I started meeting one-on-one with one of their consultants, which helped a lot. But it's crazy. Like, I paid for that program and then didn't implement it, and then
I have a program like that too.
didn't implement it. And then like I went to one of their events in Nashville and met all these people that are running agencies and, you know, making millions of dollars. And I was like, what am I doing? I haven't done this program. I've never called myself an agency owner. I've never called my company an agency. It's very much like having a hard time owning what I had done and the process I had put together and like actually running a business. And I mean, at this point, I was very much running a successful business, like revenue wise. And I had no idea. I had no idea. Like,
they're just accidentally running a business.
I mean, really.
With an Excel spreadsheet. Jesus Christ.
Accidentally running a business with an Excel spreadsheet and like business, meta business suite. And I was doing it all by myself. Like I was telling my team a couple weeks ago, like I was managing 15 clients.
Yeah.
Brainstorm to posting by myself. I was shooting all the video. I was shooting all the photos. I was doing all the graphic design. I was writing everything. Like I was doing everything. I had one person on my team and then I got everything in Trello and I was like, there is light. I can hire someone because every person, I could hire a different person to be in each one of these lanes for all of these clients. And I started to actually like dream. But I would say, yeah, I didn't do anything. And I very much was playing business even in the midst of like having the business consultant that I was paying for. And I had no idea how valuable that information was. And then it clicked one day and I don't know when, honestly.
Yeah.
And then I started to see how important it was for me to like show up and do the work and put it in. And then I started working on my sales strategy, my sales process, and practicing sales calls and doing sales scrimmages with the sales framework, and then sending sales calls to the business coach for him to get on and just destroy it and send all the feedback to me on like, here's all the ways that you failed on that business call. And I'm like, but I loved it. Like I just started eating up like the feedback, and because it was like, oh my gosh, someone's finally being honest with me, and I can like, I'm going to get better and I'm going to improve and I'm going to, you know, be successful. I can do this. But for some reason, like it took a while for it to click and for me to be like, no, this is actually what I want to do, how I want to do it. And so I'm going to go. And then when I'm there, like I can really go, but it took so long and there was no one there that could like make that happen. Like I paid all of this money and it still, you know, didn't start to really work.
No, because some of that stuff has to simmer. Like you have to be that. I think that's the thing is like a lot of this is not a quick win. And a lot of people think like, I'm going to get a business coach and there's going to be a quick win.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean, it would have been if I would just do the work.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't have been because you would have sped through the work and you would have not thought about the work and you would have not really put input into it.
Well, and I think I even tried that because a lot of what they were saying at the time was you need to niche down and do one industry and one thing. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, we'll do banks. And then I did it. And then I was like,
I hate this.
It sucks.
But I think it's because you were too, that's what we talk about in the niche down episode, which is like you hadn't explored enough to be like, this is the stuff that I love to do.
Yeah.
And these are the people that I like to work with.
Well, and like being okay. I remember being on the call with Josh, who was consulting me through that program. And he was like, now that you've decided you're just going to do organic social media management, that now you need to like have a name that matches that and get a logo and everything. But he just wanted me to go to Canva and do that. And I was like, I can't do that. Like I have too much depth in who I am as a person. Like I understand you and I hear you and I know you're telling me I don't have the finances to go and like do a rebrand, but like I am telling you I will shut this business down if I do not do this the right way. And so I'm going to go do it the right way and go against your judgment on this one thing.
Yeah.
And go and rebrand Stevie Social, all this stuff. So during that time I was really like, and I pushed back hard on like that's something I do a lot with business coaches is like I will be on the phone crying, yelling, like pushing back on what they're challenging me with because I have to really believe in it or I won't go and do it or it won't last.
We're totally different.
Very.
But I've become that way because of I don't know. I don't know. We're just different, but I mean just because I remember going through I went through a similar program and I actually hated it when they were like, you need to niche down and you can only sell to one person and you can only sell one service. I was like, yeah, no, I don't like this. And I dropped a ton of money on it and I quit it right there. Yeah. Because it felt very bro-y. It felt like
this program was fully bro-y.
Oh, yeah. I know. But it felt very much like this is how you make millions and this is the only way. And it felt very inauthentic to me. So that's why I was like, I'm done with that. But I have had the experience of like, I listened when I first started my business, I listened to Christo and watched his YouTube and really learned a lot of like how to run a creative business from his content. That then I joined the pro group, which was like a little community that he had stuff in. And then he posted that he was going to do a brand strategy workshop for designers in Miami. I flew out to Miami, did this 2-day workshop with him, learned how he did brand strategy, compared it to how I did brand strategy, and then like expanded the way I did brand strategy. And then I took his personal brand lab and whatever he told me to do, I would do. Just because the trust that I had in him was already like, I didn't have pushback because I was like, I've seen what you've done. I've seen what you've done for other people. Just tell me what to do. There was no pushback because I'm like,
that's where I'm at right now with Josh. Like so more context to where I'm at. I like hired this consultant company in Nashville, which opened my eyes to like just agency world in general. It was so, so good for me. The connections that I got, networking, all of that. And I am very, very loyal. And I love those guys now. Like I'm fully there.
Yeah.
Like they've got me and went to London 2 years ago with them. And yeah, I mean, I'm in. They have so much great advice. They're constantly growing and learning and researching and all of those things. And so now I had a stint of, I guess, not having a business coach.
Yeah, you didn't have a business coach for like 2 years, I think.
Yeah, so I did end my contract with the Nashville company, but I knew at some point I would probably come back, but I needed a season of like not executing. Like I needed to like do what I already knew how to do.
You needed to
keep doing what I had been doing.
You needed no more input. You needed to execute output.
Right. And like for you needed that person alongside you to execute. But like for me, that ended up being a crutch. And so I needed to like go off on my own and like get it kind of figured out. And especially with team stuff, because they can tell me everything. And basically what I went through last year was so much with team that had I had a business coach throughout all of that, that would have been really, really great for me. And I probably should have, but I let them go because I had been doing so much on like the business operations side, the systems, the processes and all of that. And then like this team leadership thing over here was not growing in me at all because I was just growing on this like business side. And actually the more business side of me, it made me very direct and like I have a hard time leading a team and training people and like having patience and slowing down and those types of things to be a good team leader. And so I didn't get any of that. And then now I had to learn the hard way with like failing over and over and over again with trying to grow a team. And someone messaged me. This is a total rabbit trail. Someone messaged me on Instagram. They're like, I saw that you've recently hired someone and I just wanted to know if we could sit down and talk about like hiring and how you go about that. And I'm like,
LOL. Have you watched our podcast?
I was like, you want to talk to me about hiring people and how like having a team. And well, I mean, I have failed a lot. I can tell you about all those things.
Yeah, you can tell them exactly what not to do.
Yeah, and I do
sure.
feel like I'm in a really good spot right now with the team that we have, and so maybe I'm not currently in the in fail mode with like the team we have. I think they're doing great, but I was just like shocked that someone would ever want to talk to me about that. Anyways, so because I didn't have the business coach, then I really realized as I was struggling throughout last year that I needed someone, but then I was so quick to make that decision that I made the wrong decision and hired someone that wasn't a good fit for me, that doesn't challenge me enough. And I wasn't really in a season, I mean, where I could be challenged either, because I didn't have
you were in
capacity
crisis.
to like make strides in the business. Is like I'm doing so much cleanup and then getting all of our client work through Q4. And so I really needed someone that could just like be supportive and kind of like allow me to put my arm around him and they could help walk me to the finish line of the end of the year. And he did that. Like the person that I had hired, he absolutely did that. But my expectations and what was on paper was not that, and the price didn't match that. And we agreed on that, and it just wasn't a good fit anymore because now I'm in a season where I really want to get better at sales again, and I really want to refine my sales strategy. I want to actually set, these revenue goals because I feel like the team is in a really good spot. It's a good time for us to bring on a few more clients that are good fits. I understand what my clients like are. I just have so much more. And so I hired Josh again from Nashville. And I'm in such a different place. Like he used to send me these like spreadsheets to fill out, and I didn't fill them out the entire time I was meeting with him. Like I literally told someone one time, I was like, I think if I did 1% of what Josh said to do, my business would grow. But like I couldn't even bring myself to do like 1% of what he did. And
why do you think that is though?
It just wasn't the right time. Like I was going through a divorce, having a baby, like moving every 2 years, dating for the first time. I mean, there's just like so many things that were happening that I could not also create capacity to do my business. And like, I don't know. I didn't have the ability to do it, but they did. I was still making strides. It just wasn't my expectation and my level of like the strides I should have been making, I guess. Because I wouldn't be sitting here with a podcast and like a successful business and a team that I love and that's like really doing well without even the like lack of work that I did with Josh. Like I was still growing in all of that. Yeah. It just wasn't, I have an expectation of like, I need to be going like this, but sometimes it kind of looks like, this, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think he knows that because he's worked with enough people that he's not surprised by my behavior, but I'm like, I'm not doing this perfectly. And that bothers me. Like I want to do business coaching perfectly. Like I want to,
but there's no perfect way to do anything.
No. And I think it's a lot of times like I have this in my head.
Yeah.
And so then if I'm not reaching it, then I'm a failure. And it's not true. Like I had all those things happen. And I was still growing. Like what was crazy is I remember I was in LA and I was dating a guy at the time and he was with me and I was taking a call with Nicholas and Josh who run Hydra in Nashville, the consulting company. And they were going through numbers with me and giving me a lot of feedback, and it was hard feedback. And I didn't have headphones in. So like the guy I'm dating is like hearing all of it. And they're speaking to me the way I need to be spoken to because they know me and they know like that I need a little direct. And like they're not going to baby me, and I don't want to be babied, but then sometimes I'm like, you hurt my feelings. That hurt, and I need to recover a little bit and then I'm okay. But that really is what I desire. And I remember the guy I was dating at the time and I was like, this actually might not work out, because we went to lunch after and he had listened to the call that I had with him and he was like, that was the stupidest call I'd ever listened to. It was like, he said something crazy like that. And he was like, you are in LA, you are running this successful business, you're making this much money, blah, 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 blah. You have the freedom to travel, you have all this stuff. And they're sitting there like beating you up and telling you all the things that you're doing wrong. And you're missing out on time with me when we're supposed to be here, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know that this is going to work out, because he didn't see,
The reason they're doing that is because they see the potential in you.
and they like deeply love me and care about me. And I'm like, wait, I think I trust these men more than I trust you.
I trust my business coach more than the man I'm dating. Life advice like Kelsey. Oh my God.
And I was like, and it made me like really cool. And at that time I was like, you're right. Like, they shouldn't be talking to me like this. And then I got home after I processed it, and I was like, no, I don't know that this is going to work. Like, I don't know if this is going to be a good fit, because Josh and Nicholas, like, they do love me and they see my potential, and they're going to push me to do that, because they also know the places I like very much fall short. So, yeah, I don't know. It's so interesting, but I'm in such a different place right now where I have more capacity and I'm dreaming bigger and I have vision, and I, have fully put together the Stevie social strategy and messaging strategy, and we have more processes. And like, I just feel so sturdy right now that now I'm coming into the consulting with him. I actually have my first session with him tomorrow, and I've already filled out the spreadsheet. I already know all of my numbers. I used to not even know my numbers. I mean, we've talked about that. And I know where I want to go. And I told him my biggest problems right now. And like, I can see pretty clearly where we need to, what direction we need to go in. And that's just such a different place to be in. But I
also
want
I want to iterate that, like, it's very normal if you're not in this space of where Kelsey's at, and that the reason you can get to those places is because you are leaning in on these other tools that you don't think about, which is a consultant, a business coach, a group of entrepreneur friends that you
Yeah.
can have pure conversations about problems that you're having, and that they're like, let's do this, let's work on this, or I'll whiteboard this out with you.
And that's a huge change too, is like, I have added in so much more entrepreneur community. Like, I used to not have any entrepreneur friends. And I mean, your friendship's been a huge one in the last like year and a half. And I fully believe that's a big contributing factor to
Yeah.
my growth and getting to a place of being sturdy. And you're like, you can tell me like, no, that's not going to be a good person for you. Like,
Yeah.
you can look in and be like, Kels, no, like, that's not what you need. You
Yeah.
know, you need someone that can like kind of slap you around. And so right now,
Yeah.
I might not always need that. And
No,
there
you
are
may not.
obviously
Yeah.
seasons for needing more like care and nurturing. But in this season, it's like, I need someone that can like bust my ass a little bit to keep going and get my stuff done.
Yeah,
And I
but
think you're
also
kind of in that space
yeah.
too.
But I also think that that's how you're also motivated. So,
Yeah, that is interesting. Like, what, like, comparing our different thing, like what motivates you versus what motivates me. Like, how do you see that?
I'm not motivated by more, like, to do more, be more. Like, I feel like you go so fast. I don't go as fast as you. I don't think that that's
But I don't know
the
that I'm
right.
motivated by speed.
You don't think so? Because what we just heard in these 23 minutes is like, I should have been at this level. This is my expectation, was to be at this level, at this level, at this level. I gotta be perfect. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, that is getting there fast. Where I'm okay taking the windy road and learning the lessons. I've become okay with that. I think you're starting to become okay with that.
Do you think I'm more motivated by money than you are?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
And do you think that that's tied to the speed stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm more motivated by who I work with and what I can do with my time. I don't want to be talking to clients I hate or that I even kind of don't like.
Yeah.
I will fire you and take the pay cut. I'm okay with that. As soon as I start getting headaches about you, you are on a chopping block. So I care more about that and the team that I'm working. I care more about the clients that I bring on, the team that I'm surrounded by, and what I can do with my time. And also, if I can be my full, true, authentic self. Like, if I have to hide my political views or anything like that, have no interest.
Yeah, I don't think that I'm as motivated by those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, time and money are like they go hand in hand. So if I am doing well with revenue, I am definitely like motivated by numbers and seeing numbers go up and increased revenue and like year after year having more and more revenue. Like I would definitely say,
Yeah. I'm not saying that that's not
right.
a driver for me, but it's not probably the first two.
Yeah.
For me, it's gonna be clients, the type of work that we're doing, and
Yeah.
what I'm doing with my time.
Yeah. Mine has definitely become clients and time, but money is still pretty high up there, I would say for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah.
I don't think that's always been the case for you. Like, I don't think clients and the type of work was always
No,
a driver.
it was more of money for sure.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah, I need to be, and there is a certain level where it's like, I need to be at this amount of revenue for it to make sense for the expenses that we have
For
and
sure.
all of that.
For
And I
sure.
want my needs met, but I definitely have struggled with, yeah, that's still something I'm like very much working through.
I know because you'll call me and you're like, "I'm talking to this client," and I'm just like, "This this person is a blanket of red flags." Like, there's not even a little red flag. This person is a walking blanket of red flags, and you're like, "I'm taking them on." I'm like, "Oh no."
Start the email to the attorney now.
Yeah, I don't wanna do that. So,
No, and I'm doing that less and less. And I think you have had you've been a good influence on me in that area for sure because my team is definitely happier and I see that. But I think it is
but I had a really, really bad client my first 2 my second year in business, and so I learned that lesson real fast. I
yeah,
was like, "Got it, message received. Just because you promise money doesn't guarantee that I'll get that money."
it's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's very, very true. But if you're
So,
working with people with good character, they are going to make it right and pay you for what you've done.
yeah.
And so yeah, I definitely see that. But yeah, it's interesting for sure. I'm grateful for where I'm at today and I don't feel the need to like be somewhere else today, which I think is good. Like I
Yeah.
do see back at looking at the last, 26 minutes of the podcast, I have always been like achiever, striver, earn, get higher, faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I had a lot of that kind of broken off last year because I mean, I had traveled more than I ever had. So it's just like, yeah, this is like the peak of my existence, but not sure I like it. Not sure I'm
Mhm.
happy here.
Yeah.
What would it look like to have more freedom with my time, but also have the financial resources to
Yeah.
go to Italy and stay for several weeks versus being tied to my laptop and
In Italy.
exactly
Yeah.
and literally not getting to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I do think that
But I think that
is changing.
that those things shift, especially as
Hmm.
you grow in business, but I do think that it is if you are at this crossroads of like, I don't know if I should hire a business coach or not, I would urge you to consider it because if you are questioning it, it probably means that you really do need it because you need an external processor or somebody to vent at or somebody to be
Yes.
like, "Hey, look over here, dummy, you're not doing this well."
Well, and there's a lot of different levels of business coaches. Like
Yep.
you could get someone that's just really new at what they're doing, but they could be a really, really awesome, curious person that could help you a lot, but they're just going to be cheaper because they're newer. Or
Yeah.
you could get someone that's like, thousands of dollars if you're at that place. But like, I really do think that there's a price point for almost everyone.
Yeah. I would say if you're considering it, something to maybe consider to give you a like your toe dip is to do a cohort or mastermind peer group kind of
Yeah.
thing. Because that gives you a little bit of a taste to be in a room with other entrepreneurs and to be with a coach. And then you start to kind of like unlock. But in my experience, those groups only really unlock 25% of like my potential. Whereas where I'm working one on one with a coach, like it's just different.
Very. Yeah. Very. But I do think the group things are great. And I think back on even like I did group Zoom calls with people that were all over the world running agencies. And I learned so much from so many different people. And I got on with strangers and did, sales scrimmages where I'm running them through a discovery call and I'm fumbling my words and, they're on the other side of the screen encouraging me and I'm doing the same thing back to them. Like there's so much value in that. So I definitely would say the group stuff will be cheaper than a one-on-one coach. And so if you can put yourself in and make yourself a little uncomfortable. Like that's really uncomfortable to be on a call with a bunch of people you don't know and ask questions and be okay with looking stupid and be okay with fumbling your way through sales calls so that you're, at least fumbling through it with someone that is safe versus an actual client. Like, I don't know. I think that's a big piece of it. It's like we don't really want to challenge ourselves because it's really uncomfortable. And so be okay with getting uncomfortable.
Well, the faster you can become uncomfortable and the faster you can move out of that, the better of a business owner you will be.
Yeah.
So
maybe even person.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's a wrap.
See you next time. And that's a wrap on this episode.
If you found this helpful, hit subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a friend.